to the podcast. It's your girl, Shelly Nicole with Drinks After Work. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's Monday? How's everybody's weekend? It's finally raining in New York. We have had like a drought for I don't know how long, and they've been saying that we were in need of rain, so luckily it's raining. It was an eventful weekend for me. I went out all weekend. And when I tell you I'm tired, I am tired. I went to work this morning and I was just like, okay, when I get home, I'm going to take a nap. And this whole thing about me was going to the gym because, you know, I'm trying to get back into my gym aesthetic thing, right? But, yeah, no, I didn't go. I was not in the mood. I was just so tired. So I was like, all right, I'm going to come home, shoot this episode, and then I'll take a nap. But yeah, Saturday I went to go see Moana. Yes, I'm a Disney kid. I don't care. Will forever be a Disney kid. I don't care. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, y'all, there are a bunch of Marvel, you know, you guys like Marvel, you guys like, I was gonna say Pokemon. I hope you guys don't watch Pokemon. So all the other, like, you know, I guess childish or younger things that we used to watch back in the day, and they still have more movies coming out now, so I will forever be a Disney kid. I really don't care. I don't. But that's what I did Saturday. Went to see Moana, and then there was an ice skating rink across the street from the movie theater. And that was nice to, you know, see a whole different, like, you know, normally you go to Rockefeller Center or you go to Bryant Park, and that's like the biggest skating ring and everybody's always there. But this one, it wasn't. I'm not going to say where because I want to try it first. I know it sounds so mean, but I wanted to experience it first. I didn't do it that time because I didn't have any gloves, and, you know, if you fall, you got to brace yourself on the ice. Hands frozen, me cold, not a thing. So I didn't do that. I also went shopping. I got most of my Christmas shopping done. I'm not buying any adults except for my brother, my mom, and dad some gifts this year. Sorry, y'all. Just not doing it. So those are the only 3 adults. And then I got my god kids and my little cousins, got them their gifts, which, you know, something simple and cute, nothing really outrageous. I didn't get anybody something like, you know, well, my little cousin, he's not really little, he's 10. Is he 10? He's 10? He's 10. Last year, he had asked me for some type of Oculus headpiece thing, and it was like $500. And I'm like, bro, who's buying you that? You thought I was buying you that for you to use it only 3-4 times and then to just put it in the corner of your room? Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. So he revised his list this year, which is great. So I have to still get his, and I have to get his brother, and then my brother and my dad. My mom is very easy. She just, you know, wanted, I'm not gonna say what she wanted because if she listens to this, she's gonna tell me, and she's gonna be like, well, I also want this and I also want that. So I have an idea of what else I'm gonna get my mom, but yeah, so I did that. And then Sunday was my god sister's birthday. Shout out to Nia. She turned 40. Yeah, girl. And she's not ashamed, so don't come for me talking about, you shout out your god sisters. I did. And she doesn't care. she definitely was excited and happy when we went to brunch. We went to the Beetle House. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Beetle House. I don't remember the exact address. I will put it somewhere down in the description of the comments of where it's actually located. It was really nice. It was a really good time, and the food was good. I didn't have anything to drink. I just drank water, and I had a ginger ale. And I was just being really cutesy for the brunch. But yeah, I didn't have any alcohol, but everybody else, my whole family, they had some drinks, and it looked really good. They said it was good. So drinks are a 10 out of 10 according to them, but the food was actually really good as well. So I definitely recommend Beetle House. It's just like Beetlejuice. If you've never watched Beetlejuice, it's just like that. I hope you have. But if you haven't, the movie Beetlejuice, you could watch that. And they have characters dressed up just like the characters in the movie. And The waitresses and the waiters, they're very, very nice. They're very talented. They're singers, so they sing throughout the time as you're dining. But that was nice. It was cool. And then, yeah, I just worked today. And then Thanksgiving was good. Thanksgiving was a great time. I did put that on my IG, made like a little reel of how Thanksgiving went. And I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving as well. It went by very quick. I cannot believe Christmas is in 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? It's insane. Like, it doesn't make any sense how the year just flew by. Like, I want to say after March, April, the year just starts to speed up. I don't understand, like, what's the rush, but nonetheless, Thanksgiving was great as well. I put up my Christmas tree December 1st. I was going to put it up before Thanksgiving, but I was told that was too early. I didn't think it was early, so I should have done it. But nonetheless, I still put up my Christmas tree, and it looks very cute. Very pink. Which is crazy because I was never really a pink girl growing up, but apparently now I am. But yeah, nonetheless, I've had a really good week. Busy, tired, but nonetheless blessed and happy that the week is now over. Well, for, the busyness is now over. Nonetheless. But today's episode is about giving yourself flowers. And I wanted to make this the episode, the third to last episode. Because these next 3 episodes to end out the year really is a reflection more so for everyone to think about giving yourself the appreciation, giving yourself your flowers, acknowledging the struggles that you probably went through this year, and holding yourself to the standard of you did that. And no one knows exactly what you've been through. No one knows exactly what had happened with you this year besides you. You're obviously the only one that knows, and maybe some friends and family members that you have told, and if you have a therapist, them as well. But nonetheless, no one really knows what this year did to you. And I feel like not just for celebrities, because if we're being honest, I mean, I'm not big into reading and understanding, and this is like not somewhat new, but I never really was a big fan of like having to pay attention to what someone else is doing, if that makes sense, right? So nonetheless, celebrity wise, I mean, we obviously see the madness that has taken place with a lot of our favorite celebs, and just how this year has really like opened up Pandora's box, if you will. Like, it was just a lot that happened this year. And I know that if it happened a lot for these celebrities, right, it definitely had to have happened for just regular, normal people. Cat Williams said that this will be the year that things get exposed, and that, life actually changes and things are not the same. And I definitely witnessed that myself. Like, there's so many things that I had to put into perspective for myself of not only my potential, but what else do I want to do? Where else do I see myself going? Dealing with losses and regrouping, regaining my strength, regaining who I was, recreating myself. I feel like we rebrand ourselves every year at this point. And it's just to make yourself better. Not to, not to say that there was everything that was like you had everything wrong with you, but just to say that there were little things that needed to be tweaked, or sometimes big things that needed to be tweaked for you to say, okay, you know what? Let me change this about the ways that I have gone or I've approached certain situations. And I do feel like this year has kind of flipped the table. Not kind of, it did flip the table when it came to how we saw relationships, how we saw ourselves, what we really wanted, taking accountability. I think accountability was like at the top of the margin. It had to be the top of the margin because you had to look back on the things that you did or things that you haven't done and tell yourself, okay, if I didn't do, or if I did do X, Y, and Z, this would not have happened, or this could have happened had I had done that, or had I had not done that. I feel like a lot of people, especially a lot of my friends, even some of my coworkers have said this too, that it was a realization year to either stop playing small with their ideas and how they feel, or to start being more honest with where they are and where they want to see themselves in the next few years and how can they get there. I do feel like a lot of the underdogs are being pushed to the center. A lot of the underdogs are being pushed to the front. A lot of people who are showing what grinding and hustling in a good way, and how you can get to that next level by being yourself and being honest and being, open to new things and new opportunities. I do feel like that was also something that was kind of put to the forefront this year as well. I also feel like, and in saying that, the Bible does say that the last shall be first. So, just saying, those who were put to the bottom and those who were probably looked down on as, oh, the little peasants or the ones who haven't really done it. Yeah, well, they're doing it now, and the first shall be last, the last shall be first. So, I'm just saying, if we go down the timeline of the year and how things have happened, a lot of that has transpired. But nonetheless, I do feel like that was a thing. I do feel like a lot of accountability as far as men, and which was so nice because I actually got a message that I asked this person, can I post it? He said no, but whatever. I got a message basically stating that this guy watches my podcast. He listens to it. And he said that it was an episode that I did that it was basically talking about taking accountability and how men need to, I think it was a segment in an episode where me and I think my friend Amanda, or maybe it was Kiana, one of them, maybe both of them, I don't know, but he basically made a reference saying that we helped to see, or I helped him see the bigger picture of himself. And that really touched me because sometimes, honestly, I'm going to be very transparent, as I always am. Sometimes I feel like I did this podcast thing just too late. I always sometimes feel like, that didn't make no sense. I always sometimes feel, which one is it, Michelle? Always or sometimes? I just have to catch myself. I sometimes feel that because there's so many podcasts out there, and because there's so many things that people want to say and people want to talk about, that mine may not ever get as far because, podcasting, I think, really took off at the end of 2022, early 2023, and that's when it just started to take off. And actually, maybe COVID. Yeah, I'm wrong. COVID, after COVID or during COVID is when it actually took place and when it actually started to gain its momentum. And around that time, I wanted to do it. And like I said, I mentioned it before, I did it with two of my other friends, and we did it, but like our schedules was just not meshing and working and kids and, you know, it was just like a lot going on as far as the scheduling wise. But always wanting to still go back and do it again. And I think I look back on it like, you know, I could have just started a little bit earlier. But nonetheless, not just to say that, but he basically gave me my flowers and saying that I had helped him see a bigger picture when it comes to dating and when it comes to showing him that there are other women out there who give him and want the same things that he does. And knowing that a lot of who he was dating just came from his environment and from his perspective of how women really are instead of going for the woman that he really wants. His perspective meaning how he was raised, where, you know, his surroundings, his environment, knowing that if you look outside of that, you do see women who have this, that, and the third. Like, he mentioned materialistic things that he would want another woman, that he would want a woman to have, but he also mentioned how like if he were to change his attitude towards dating, that would gravitate to him instead of the negative gravitating to him, because that's what he's just always seen and what he's always known. So it was kind of nice that he said that I helped him out with one of the episodes. I don't remember what episode he said, but that it was mentioned, and he's starting to like open up now when it comes to dating and when it comes to reaching different women that he's more attracted to mentally, not just physically, but mentally, and helping him out in that way. So that was nice. But definitely making sure that you give yourself those flowers this year, because again, you don't know what this year could have taken you out, and it didn't. And allowing yourself also, as you're giving yourself these flowers, to accept what is and let go of what could have been, or what should have been, actually, I should say. Accepting what is and letting go of what you thought it was going to be. And it's a hard thing to do. I think I've mentioned it before. Like, if you were to ask me at 33, this is how my life would go, I would have told you, yeah, right, you're lying. Because at 25, I said, I'll be married. I'd be married. I have kids by now. Like, I would have a house with like 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms and like 3 dogs. You couldn't tell me that my life would be completely different from what it was from what I thought it would be at 25 to what it is now. And to some extent, you do have to take accountability for it. You have to say, okay, well, had I had done X, Y, and Z, maybe this would have been the case. Maybe that would have been the path. But for whatever reason, it never got to that point. Some of it has to do with you, but at the same time, some of it just has to go with the saying of, and if you're a spiritual person, you understand this. What's meant for you is meant for you. What God has for you, he has for you, and it's not going to pass you. Some things were just not meant to happen. You were supposed to go down this route instead, because this was going to build your character. And I will definitely say, from 25 till now, my character building, chef's kiss, impeccable. I have some work to do, but it is way better than what it was even 2 years ago. Even last year, it was way better than what it was. But give yourself the standing ovation. Give yourself the applause of making it to the end of the year, despite all the times where you thought you were going to give up, despite all the times where you thought the relationships would never work, you would never get out of that relationship, you would never get out of that mental headspace. Whatever it is that could have torn you down or almost tore you down this year, to get out of that and just for a second just live in gratitude and sit in gratitude. Like, you've ever had a moment, and I've done this before, I've done this year actually, where multiple times, honestly, where you just either could be in your car in your house, mostly probably in your car or in your house, but just when you're by yourself and you just give yourself that permission to say, I have this, I have that. Like, everything could be going wrong right now. There could be a whole fucking tornado outside of your house, but you could literally just sit here in your house or in your car, wherever you're at, and just say, you know, I got this, I have that, I have this, I have the ability to walk, even if your knees are cracking, even if, you know, your back hurts, it's all right. You're still able to walk, you're still able to sit, you're still able to see. Just the small things that you take for granted that a lot of people wish that they were able to do and couldn't do. Just sitting in that and just taking into account of not the senses that you have, but then also what you have been blessed with: a home, a car, a job, your health. Knowing that this year could have went completely left. You could have been in the hospital. You could have been, God forbid for anybody, you could have been dead. You could have lost all these things that we take so much pride into and possession into. But it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Some relationships may have ended. And I always see now as relationships ending. And I think it was very hard for me to understand that. But I think I take relationships, friendships, whatever, ending as like, okay, what did I learn in this relationship? What did I learn about them? But what did I learn about myself? What do I need to work on? And what do I need to fix for the next time? How can I improve for the next relationship? Or how can I improve with my friendships that are still around? What can I do differently that I didn't do last year, but that I want to do into the rest of this year and then into next year? So, that was something I definitely took into account when I thought about giving myself my own flowers and saying, you know what, Shell, it's been a hell of a year. This year flipped its ass, showed its ass, really, real bad. But I think it only made us stronger for 2025. And I think whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're dealing with, I think you have to understand and know that there is literally a reason for it. It may not seem like it, and trust me, I get it. I understand it 100%. Michelle, can you sit here and say that this means something? Why would this mean anything? I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. Yes, but there is a reason for it. There is a reason and there's a lesson behind every single trial. There's a reason, a lesson behind every single breakup. There is a reason, a lesson behind every single thing that's in your life that you thought would be going a different way that's now going a completely opposite way. There's a reason behind it. And our mission is to accept what it is, pray about it, understand that you're going to get through it. It's not going to last forever. You're going to get through it. How many times have you been through something and then was like, whew, glad that storm was over. Oh, I remember the time when this happened. All of us, every last one of us, can sit here and honestly say that. There has never been a time where a situation hasn't, regardless of how long it took, but there hasn't been a situation that we have not gotten through or have not gotten out of and just was like, okay, thank God this is over. Because I don't know how else, if it had lasted one more week or if it had lasted one more day, then it would have lasted one more day, but you would have gotten out of it either way. So it's just like acknowledging the trial, acknowledging what had happened or what had occurred, giving yourself the permission to feel, to understand that it is all right. It is okay. It's perfectly fine for you to feel like you're losing it, but to come back and say, you know what, but I have this, I have that, this is going right, that's going right, I have that to go to, I have this to come home to, I got that to, whatever it is, giving yourself that grace. That's the word. Giving yourself grace and giving yourself permission to just feel and know that you did a good job. Know that you did your best to make things happen the way that it was supposed to. And you are not alone in this fight. We are all fighting something. When I tell you, like, the last few weeks, honestly, I've learned about so many people that I just know of who have been going through things, and I'm just like, what? Like, when did this happen? We're all fighting and going through something. Every last one of us. No matter what we post on Instagram, no matter what we post on Twitter, TikTok, we're all going through something. And the thing is, a lot of people are not transparent about it, and they think that life is just grits and gravy all the time, and it's not. I tell y'all about when I don't feel like it, I don't feel like talking, and I don't feel like being social, baby, I'm in the house. I don't feel like it. When I don't feel, and if I do feel like going out and I do feel like enjoying myself, one of my friends will probably hit me up, or I'll end up hitting one up, like, all right, what you want to do? Do you want to do this weekend? Are we doing this that weekend? Or when I say weekend, sometimes it's my days that I have off. But just in general, like, what are we doing? So I have my moments. And everybody does. Everybody has their moments where they're there, and then they have their moments when they're not there. And that's the whole transparency of it all. I used to think crazy too, like, why did I name this podcast Drinks After Work? Like, I don't even drink like that. But it was really just a matter of drinking whatever you need to. Like I've said this before, it could be water, it could be tea, it could be wine, it could be liquor. It doesn't matter what it is. But just being able to decompress yourself after work, because a lot of the times we put up this mask like everything is okay because you got to give great customer service and you have to be this and you have to be that. And then when you get home or you get in that car, you're just like, oh my God, your social battery is off. You don't feel like talking to anybody. You've been on the laptop or the computer all day. You've been in meetings. You've been taking phone calls. You've been doing all of this stuff all day. And you're just like, but I have real life issues going on. And there's not enough hours in the day to just do your job, do some relaxing, go to the gym, eat, find a time to eat. Because some people I heard don't even eat during their work days because they're so busy, which is insane to me, but I know it happens. To then get some rest and then find some time throughout your weekends to, like, enjoy yourself. So having this 30 minutes of being able to just, like, relax and understand that everything is going to be okay. Everything will be all right. It doesn't seem like it right now, but everything will be fine. It will. And give yourself those flowers. Acknowledge how much you have gone through and tell yourself, like, you know what? I'm that bitch. I'm that man. I'm that whatever you want to say. Like, you that, because you went through it and you got out of it. And the next one, it may happen because life be lifing, and life just finds its way to give you an uppercut and just, you know, elbow to the neck, elbow to the chin, and you gotta fight back. And it's a hard thing to do, but we all have to do it. And I don't want any of us to give up, because it's easy to give up, but it's more rewarding to keep fighting. So I love you guys for listening. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you guys have an amazing night. I said day, night. I hope you guys get home safely. If you guys are gonna, you know, if you're driving home, whatever time you're listening to this, please just get home safely. It's supposed to rain for like the next 3 days, which is amazing. I like the rain, but yeah, have a good night, guys. I love you guys for listening. Whatever happened in today, leave it into today. Do not bring that shit into tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good week.